man. I'm Anthony Steen, I'm the Member of Parliament for South Devon, and I'm Chairman of the All-Party Group on Human Trafficking. This is a wake-up call, this exhibition, for parliamentarians and party leaders in every parliament of the EU. Human trafficking is modern-day face of slavery. In the 19th century, it was epitomised by men and women in chains. Today, it's not visible, it's more widespread and comes in many different forms. It is often difficult to detect. When our forefathers thought they had abolished slavery in 1833, they had no idea that a new and more virulent form would be rampant 200 years later, and with traffickers far more nimble and sophisticated than the plodding officialdom chasing it. Which is why I introduced a Human Trafficking Day in this Parliament on February the 5th, which passed all its stages in one day and is currently waiting in the House of Lords to go through the process. I hope we won't have a general election too soon, Alan, so we can get it on the stand. All that prevents it becoming law as an anti-slavery day bill is Labour government whips and finding the time for it to be piloted through the upper house. I particularly want to thank the talented team of young designers, particularly Kate Guinness and Jess Weisner, and the lighting and graphic artists for building and designing this exhibition. I also want to thank the Tudor and the Bromley Trusts for making the finance available for erecting it and building it. I also want to pay a special tribute to the Western Morning News for libelling me and providing me with sufficient funds to add my contribution. And I think we must also thank them for the tea in the strangers' dining room, which I'm offering you privately and personally myself today, if you'd like to take tea and cakes, thanks to Western Morning News. But our special gratitude goes to the Home Secretary, Alan Johnson, who will be opening the exhibition. And we've got a very sharp pair of scissors you to cut the police tape. And we've got William Hague, whose biography as Wilberforce has now become essential reading. He, of course, is the Shadow Foreign Secretary and Shadow Deputy Leader. Today, in the exhibition, you'll be able to talk to actual victims of domestic slavery, who are here in this room right here, and will be manning the domestic slavery section, which is over there, and you can talk to them and they'll tell you personally about their experiences. Most exhibitions exclude the people who are actually the victims. We've also got in this room over there a room where women would be trafficked for sexual exploitation and forced to live their lives in rooms like this. And there are amongst you girls that have actually been trafficked and escaped. You'll also be able to meet frontline police officers. Where are they? 2 frontline police officers. And they can tell you about children brought into this country to work in cannabis factories, but they probably won't know too much about that, but they will be able to mention thousands of children imported and set to work on the streets, like Fagin's children, pickpocketing, shoplifting, and engaging in ATM thefts. They run an operation called Operation Golf, and it's been extremely successful. Now look at this man over there, and that's Wilberforce. What would he be saying today if he saw parliamentarians assembled here 200 years later, after he abolished slavery, discussing modern-day slavery, on a scale which he could never have contemplated? He would have been appalled that despite all his good work, various acts of parliament, and worldwide condemnation of slavery have come to so little, and the exploitation of human beings was everywhere to be seen. That is why we've got to redouble our efforts on all levels, especially the parliamentary level, and that's what the challenge is today, and that's why we're here today. Over to you, Alan.